it one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets on February 9th, the day after the Super Bowl. The 2026 season is here. 2025 is a distant memory, thank God. And we got to congratulate Sam Darnold, Leonard Williams, Jason Myers, our good friend Jose, as the Seahawks put on a clinic and beat up the Patriots, which is a lot of fun to watch on a boring game. Bubs, how you doing, man?
Tyson, how's it going? How's everybody doing in the chat? Season officially in the books. Look forward to 2026 now. Thankfully, we could finally put 2025 in the rear view. And dominant performance from the Seahawks defense. Congrats to Jose. Big Sam Darnold Super Bowl. Leonard Williams, Jason Myers with a big game. Thought he might be the Super Bowl MVP there for a little while. He was a big game from him. All the former Jets performing well in the big game. But good for Sam Darnold and good for the Seahawks fans. Yeah, and always good to see New England get smacked, like you said.
That's the most important thing. Watching the Patriots almost getting shut out was awesome. But no, that's the past now. We're now on to the Jets turn the page, and so did we. And now, since our last time we talked, they made some hirings on the coaching staff, which have been really, really interesting. Frank Reich in the mix, which we were all hoping for. It got a little hazy there for a couple of days where you're like, hey, what's going to happen? They lock him down. What were your thoughts on that now that we're digesting it all with what he brings to the building? To me, it's like stability, leader, veteran mindset. And it's kind of like, I think it's going to kind of like quiet the room, I think, for the offense, where it's like, listen, you have your CEO guy that's going to be here, been there, done that, knows what he's talking about, can speak to every player with a cohesive plan. And like, trust me, I've been there, done that many times before. And I think it eliminates some of the gray area, I think, for this team on offense.
Yeah, it's a grown-up in the room. And that's, I think, what the Jets are searching for. That's what they wanted. That's what Glenn wanted. I mean, this goes back now to even when Tanner Engstrand was still on the staff, where it originally seemed like Engstrand would be, demoted into the non-play caller. Reich would take over as kind of the senior offensive assistant, end up, they go through the entire OC process and all that stuff and still end up with Reich. But the point being is this was the guy they had on their radar for a while, and they got him, and it raises the floor, right? This isn't necessarily this big ceiling raiser, this elite offensive mind that's going to take this offense to another level, but it's a grown-up in the room. It's a leader in the room. It's a guy with experience. It's a guy, like you said, that's been there and done that. It's a respectable voice, and that's what they wanted, and that's what they needed. And I think, too, when you look at Reich, not many teams across the league, like it wasn't like this was a hot candidate, but when you looked at the options that they had, the Greg Romans, the Darrell Bevels, the Lunda Wells, the other guys that they interviewed, Reich was the best option. He was the best out of those candidates. He was the best out of the choices that they had, and they got it done. And you give us some credit for getting the guy that they wanted. He was on their radar screen for a while. They followed through with it, even through the OC process. They bring him in. He's starting to bring in some of his guys now. Yep. And you just hope that it can bring, like you said, a little bit of stability, some sense of a little bit of competence, a little bit of leadership on the offensive side where it's not just a complete disaster, which is what we've seen now for a while, just an adult voice in the room, which they haven't had for a while. We talked about they should have had it last year, but they get it done now. So I guess it's kind of the better late than never.
And there's two really big parts of this with Frank Reich too, is first off, he could be an excellent mentor and sounding board to Aaron Glenn, which he desperately needed. We thought that was going to be Steve Wilks last year. He obviously wasn't. But Frank Reich, while he's managing the offense, can say, hey, listen, in terms of managing the team or time management, game management, personally, can give him some really quality insight, which is really good. The other thing is he's got to be a marketing tool to lure a quarterback in here because you're going into – everybody wants to talk about, go to the draft. The first thing you need is a bridge quarterback. You need somebody to quarterback team this year, and not only be a quarterback, but you need a competent offense. I'm not saying Frank Reich's going to give you top 15 offense, but we can't be 32. Bring it to 25, 24. Be mediocre. Be average so you can be competitive. But he's got to help Aaron Glenn lure in that quarterback, whoever it is. And we're going to talk about a ton of them tonight. But right now it's like, when you had Aaron Glenn and Engstrand, you're like, do I want to go there? Now it's like, all right, I know what Frank Reich's offense is. I know what his vision is. I know he can help me. I know I can get some numbers here. That's a big part of this too, man, because this Jets job right now is, we all know, is kind of in flux. If you want to lure in free agents, you can pay the Jets tax, but you still got to get guys that just believe in what you're doing too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you may bring up a good point about, Reich and potentially recruiting another quarterback. We'll talk about a ton of the names, but I think you look at that veteran option, as we've talked about, potentially bringing in two names, let's say, similar to what the Giants did last offseason, where it's Winston and Russell Wilson. Not exactly those two, but something along the lines of a Brissett, let's say a Kirk Cousins, and then a mid-round draft pick. It's interesting with Reich is you look through his career and you look at all of his stops. He likes that specific style of quarterback, which is the tall passer, strong arm, pocket passer, could take a hit in the pocket, not necessarily your mobile quarterback like those 6'4", 6'5" quarterbacks that are tall. They've got good arms. Like those type of quarterbacks, just go through the list of guys that he's worked with. Luck, Wentz, Rivers, Matt Ryan, even Brissett are all those kind of guys. And just from a draft standpoint, I wonder if like Drew Aller is potentially an option that pops up because he is that taller quarterback, good arm, pocket passer that kind of fits Reich's offense and fits the quarterbacks that Reich has worked with throughout his career, which are just those prototypical pocket passes. And it wonders if that takes out some of these other guys like a Kyler Murray potentially out of the running where it doesn't necessarily fit the type of quarterback that Reich has experience working with.
No, that's an excellent point. And that's where I was going too. It's like there's a lot that goes into this decision when you hire Frank Reich. It's okay. You want to develop your offense. You want to get in your bridge quarterback. You're also going to draft a quarterback that you hope you can maximize his potential in this offense as well. You don't want that square peg round hole kind of thing where it's like, oh, well, we want a prolific pocket passer, and this kid's running around circles the entire time. So there's a lot of layers to this. I'm fascinated to see how the Jets handle this offseason in terms of how they attack free agency. They brought in Seth Ryan as a pass game coordinator, which is a feel-good story on so many different levels, where obviously the son of Rex Ryan, but also you almost see like a blueprint for the Jets, a blueprint I wish they had last year, but we'll talk about that later too. It's like, okay, listen, you have Frank Reich here for, say, 2 years, assuming the Jets don't get fired next year, all the staff gets fired. You have Frank Reich here for 2 years, 3 years, and you hope a young protege on your staff, a Seth Ryan or somebody else, becomes that next in line where it's, okay, Frank Reich retires, Seth Ryan's your OC, everybody moves on. It's a smooth transition for your offense. Your quarterback development doesn't get hindered, things like that. I'm hoping that's the plan with this. Aaron Glenn obviously knows him from the Lions. So it's an interesting hire, but I'm hoping that's their vision. They don't have a quarterback coach yet, but you want to kind of promote from within. You want to have to keep chasing your tail and going and get outside the organization to find your coordinators.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of like too about the Seth Ryan hire is they've went with a lot of experience both sides of the football, even the Carl Dunbar hire, which I'm sure we'll get into. Really like that hire, but that's another experience hire. I kind of like how they balance it out a little bit with that younger up-and-coming type of name where you have a Seth Ryan who can learn under Reich, work under him, and who knows what happens with this staff, who knows what happens in 2026, who knows what happens with Seth Ryan. But it's a good story, worked under Ben Johnson, and he's clearly earned the right to gain a promotion, gain this opportunity, get this opportunity as the pass game coordinator, obviously, which would take over for Scott Turner. So I guess not too much pressure there to be better than what Scott Turner was last season.
What are you trying to say, man?
But no, yeah, I mean, it's a solid hire. And it's like you said, the history with the Ryans going all the way back to Buddy Ryan and to Rex Ryan and to Seth Ryan now. So 3 generations of Ryan. You look at this passing offense, they finished last in the NFL last season in pass yards per game with 140.3. Like they've been in the bottom of the NFL. They've got to they don't, like you said, they don't have to be number 10. They don't have to be number 7. They don't have to be top 5. Just be competent. Can you get to the 18 to 20 range? Can you be top 20? Is that hard to ask for, somewhere in that range where you could just be competent? Yeah, just average.
Like our standard, we've been used to such bad offense, like 80 passing yards at halftime and everything else. It's like just being mediocre is an upgrade at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, if the Jets finish 23rd, 22nd in passing offense, that's a 9-10 spot difference than they were this year. That's going to be a big difference. If they finish 20th, that's a big difference compared to 32nd dead last where they were if they finish inside the top 20. Like you said, we're not asking for much. The last couple of seasons, just in general, we're not asking for much. Offense, defense, the entire team. What do we say all the time? Just give us meaningful games in December. Just give us 7 to 8 wins. Be competitive.
Hold on,
Like, we're
dude.
not asking.
Just give us a competitive first half. Don't get blown out in the first quarter, and we're happy.
The bar is so low. Just go out there and score and put together a good opening drive. Have a good couple scripted plays and come out, ready to go, prepared. Right? You know, it's crazy. The bar is so low. So, you know, you hope that he under Reich, and then Reich also has brought in some guys too that he had some connection with at Stanford too. So I like the mix of not too many veterans, experienced older coaches. Also some of the mix of some of those younger coaches with a little bit more of, you hope, the more innovative tendencies, as opposed to Reich, who is going to rest more on some of the maybe outdated concepts. A little bit of a mix, I think, is a good thing.
Yeah, and then on defense, you know, you actually wrote an article about this. And the hiring of Carl Dunbar, I like a lot. Very good defensive line coach with the Jets before, respected players, love him. But then it's like, okay, there could be a switch to the defensive scheme. And Bubs, I mean, negative for 1 second. This is why they should have did this last year. Yeah. If Aaron Glenn was running his defense last year, you'd have your personnel established. You kind of figure out, does this current personnel match my scheme? And then year 2, your defense is much better. Now you're saying I may have to change guys out, switch guys out, you know, and like it's, you know, an ass backwards way of doing things, but nonetheless, if you get results this year, it's fine. But, you know, look at Carl Dunbar, you know, I didn't like the Duker, the Duker defensive coordinator thing is whatever, but Dunbar opened my eyes. We're like, all right, that's a quality guy. And you kind of wonder if Rex Ryan is kind of lurking around somewhere, be like, you know what, I can do some consulting for you. I can help out if you need some insight too.
Yeah, add another Ryan to the staff. I think that's kind of the story of, I guess, this whole coaching process is you wish some of this stuff was done. All of it was done last year. Reich, Haley, whoever. Reich was at Stanford, so it wasn't happening. But somebody like that would have happened last year to help Engstrand. A schematic change would have happened last year as opposed to now, where you can build it through year 1 and then continue it into year 2, as opposed to now you got to win in year 2, and now you got to change schemes, and now you're going to have to adjust personnel because some of the pieces that you have on the roster now aren't going to fit. But all that being said, though, I like the Carl Dunbar hiring a lot. Another kind of nostalgic hiring too, right? Spent some time with Rex back in 2012 to 2014. He's been around for a while, and he's had a lot of success, but he runs a 3-4 defense, or he's been a part of 3-4 defenses. The Jets, they mixed in a little bit of 3-4 last year, but primarily have been 4-3, and they've been that way now for a long time, really ever since Rex was the last 3-4. And it makes it interesting. And like you said, I had an article on this about their potential where they go in the draft, because Ruben Bain, the 3 guys that I think everybody's talked about at number 2 has been Bain, Arvell Reese, and now David Bailey starting to gain some steam too from Texas Tech. And he's a really intriguing prospect. I like Bain a lot. He's probably my favorite out of the 3 of them. But if you're going to 3-4, Arvell Reese makes more sense and David Bailey makes more sense, because Ruben Bain's more of the 4-3 defensive end that can play outside and on passing downs can switch into the inside to where you can have all your pass rushers out there for obvious passing situations. Whereas Arvell Reese and David Bailey are more of they could play outside linebacker, stand-up linebacker, rush off the edge. That's not really Ruben Bain's thing. So it makes you wonder, do they go with an Arvell Reese? Do they go with a David Bailey? And then, too, I wonder, what's Jermaine Johnson's role? Because Jermaine Johnson's not necessarily that outside line. He's more of a 4-3 defensive end. He's not going to be somebody that's necessarily going to switch into a 3-4. So you kind of wonder, too, and to your point, you wish this was something they did last year.
Bingo.
More of a reason where the Wilkes hiring just doesn't add up. Where is Jermaine Johnson's role? Is he somebody that's on this team? Yeah, possibly.
That's the one thing I kept thinking about, is that they switched this defense around a little bit. How many of these pieces that may not fit in here, Robert Saleh wants, Jeff Ulbrich wants, in the Jets right now, you can get trade assets, trade compensation. Okay, that's fine. You need the more the merrier, but then it's just you don't want to make the defense barren of talent where you've got to rely on all your draft picks to hit, play, and contribute week 1. Or you got, bring in 5 or 6 free agents to start week 1 and all contribute as well. But that could happen, though, man. When you overhaul this is why this should have happened last year. It didn't, but now it's it's really interesting to see. Or you say, you know what, let's take the guys that we have and not pigeonhole ourselves into one type of defense. Have a versatile defense that we can actually use Jermaine Johnson, who has talent. Hopefully, a year off of his injury, he'll play much better, be more faster, explosive. The year after the ACL. After that one full year, he comes back, bounces back better, which could very well be the case. And yeah, Will McDonald too. What is he going to do with him? So it's be really interesting to see how the Jets handle their personnel in this offseason.
Yeah, they could certainly balance, the 4-3 and the 3-4 looks that they run this season. But even Duker too, he comes from a 3-4 background as well, which is interesting. So like all the stars are kind of aligning to switching to a 3-4. And yeah, look, good staffs, good coaching staffs, they're going to find a way to still get something out of Jermaine Johnson, still get something out. Will McDonald's fine, but they're going to find a way to find the right pieces that fit in, whether that's whether that's keeping Jermaine or moving on from Jermaine or whatever it is. Like every team can find good coaching staffs, good defenses. They're going to find roles for good players. And I still think Jermaine Johnson, coached properly and in the right positions, could still be a good player. This is a guy that isn't very far off of the 7.5 sack season where he looked like he was going to take off before the torn Achilles.
And a contract here nonetheless.
Yeah. Yes,
so
that is
a
true.
Big thing too. So the question is, before we talk quarterbacks, which I know everybody wants to talk about quarterbacks and things like that, do we want a breakdown of the halftime show yesterday? Bad Bunny made all kinds of headlines, and we have a resident, one of our own great callers that is an expert on Bad Bunny and halftime shows. Do you want that now, Bubs, or do you want to talk quarterbacks first?
I guess let's get some Bad Bunny in here, I guess. We got to be proactive,
Look
right?
at the smile on Vincent's face. Look at the smile on your face, man.
Well, you want to know what? It's not just that. It's also the fact that the Patriots got humiliated. That's also
true. Another thing you're big on.
Yeah, no. So, you guys want me to put on a Puerto Rican hat to make this better or no?
Whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, man. When you're happy, we're happy.
All right.
I think he'd be prepared, Bubs. Like now he's walking around for props. We're only live right now. I mean, it's no big deal. Just take his time. Like, look at this.
Oh, there we go.
Much better. There you go.
Yeah, no. One of the things I do love is that he actually brought. I'll say this one thing. I do love the fact that he actually brought that couple on there to get married.
That was awesome. Very good. I was so distracted. I was distracted by all the props. It was almost like information overload. There was so much going on. I couldn't even concentrate with everything.
Well, no, obviously, you first off, you saw the sugarcane fields. Puerto Rico was known for producing sugarcane. That was kind of. So then you also have the people cutting the sugarcane. Those are called jibaros. Those are the traditional rural country folk of Puerto Rico, simple self-sustenance farmers. My grandfather came from a family of jibaros. The hat they're wearing is a pava hat. Okay. You have the piaguas are basically like, they're local versions of snow cones, except they're more tropical flavored.
They look good.
Yeah, no, then obviously you saw the Mexican-Puerto Rico boxing rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
That was that.
Did I see that? Do I remember that? With the boxing?
Yeah, there was a Mexican and a Puerto Rican boxer.
And that was I had my share of beers. I had my share of beers by that point, so I'm just gonna agree with you.
Yeah, no, that was and then let's see. So after that, then you had the old lady. Now that old lady handing Benito a drink.
Mm-hmm.
He actually owns the last remaining Puerto Rican social club in Brooklyn. It's called Tonitas, and if you actually saw that, he actually made sure her address for her bar was planted in the halftime show, because they've been that whole area has been getting gentrified, and like those iconic family places have been getting pushed out. So he wanted to blast her name out there so that people give her give her business.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Did you enjoy the music? Are you a big Bad Bunny fan?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no, I got into his music like with the latest album because of how much of it's like a love letter to Puerto Rico and culture.
Right.
Of course, then you had then obviously you had Ricky Martin come in and he sings that line, which is the whole song. That song is basically just saying, I don't want Puerto Rico to be a state. That's the message of that song, just for everyone to know. Okay. Get that one out of the way. And so
the telephone poles was a symbol. Was the telephone poles a symbol to them lacking the electricity and taking a long time to rebuild?
Yeah, the telephone. It's about the long-standing electrical crisis in Puerto Rico that's been exacerbated by the privatization of the electrical grid. That's what that's about.
Okay.
And then of course you have him when he has all the Then he has the Plena group come out. They're the ones with the little hand drums. Those are
Bubs was talking about that before.
Yeah.
yeah. No, so and of course you have all. He says God bless America. Then he lists off all the countries that make up the two.
Wait, what'd you think about Lady Gaga?
North and South America. Lady Gaga was. I like Lady Gaga. She was nice part of it.
I thought it gave a good touch to it. I think it was really well done. It was just so much going on, dude. Like I was just
yeah, no, it was a lot. My mother is not my mother's never been a Bad Bunny fan, but after the halftime show this morning, she was just repeating "Toma la mano café, bolotale ron, ya tan buena calle dale tu balón." Yeah, but that she was like literally repeating that all day, all this morning. But so. When he was saying that, basically he was reminding that, the original term Americans was to refer to, the people of this hemisphere when he was listing on all the countries of the two continents.
So overall you enjoyed the halftime show, you enjoyed the game because the Patriots lost. And
it was good to see Sam Darnold, after all he's been through, to hoist that Lombardi trophy. It was nice.
Did you drink any rum yesterday?
I mostly kept it to beer. I probably should have had a shot, but you know what? I should have had a shot, but I didn't. It just went over my head. I was going to ask you guys.
What kind of beer did you drink?
All right. What was just just the Medalla Light stuff because I was like I want to keep my carbs down.
You were on a diet?
Well, no. Like remember, I was pre-diabetic, so like.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm no longer anymore, but like I still keep to the light beer. Occasionally, like I said, I'll treat myself to a nicer, higher end beer. But when I'm at home, I'll just keep it to the basic stuff. So I was gonna ask you guys, what were your Super Bowl fixings?
I ate a lot, man. I had, we had pizza, mussels. We had so much food, man. I don't remember.
I made some buffalo chicken empanadas.
Damn,
it's pretty good.
What'd you have?
The usual wings, buffalo chicken dip, tenders, all that good stuff.
Yeah, chicken tenders. We had that. We had so much stuff, man. Food was just
I had that. I had also had some chips and dip, the basic chips and dip. It was mostly because I said I don't have a lot of company over. I don't have a lot of super football fans in my area, so mostly it's kept to mostly kept to myself, for the Super Bowl game.
Well, thank you for sharing your halftime breakdown, man. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, although I don't know if you saw the clip that after the halftime they went outside to still throw a party in the parking lot. All the performers were throwing a party in the parking lot.
Good for them, man. That should be. Listen, it's a fun game. It should be a fun atmosphere. Everybody enjoys it. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I just like I said, I loved it. I loved that he brought local musicians with him. Like I said, that the group, those guys with the hand drums, those are like a local Plena group in Puerto Rico. And he actually not only did he have them record that track, and he brought them with him to perform at the halftime show. So I found that really cool. And I don't know if you saw the celebrity cameos in it, like Pedro Pascal was dancing in the background.
Yeah, I think what's the one woman? Was it Jessica Alba? Not Alba. Who was it?
I saw Ronald Acuna was in it.
Ronald Acuna was in it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I saw John Boy Media posted it. I didn't notice either until he posted it, but I think it was him.
I'm gonna have to check that out, man. But I know there was another female celebrity cameo in it. But I don't know her name right now. It's my mother mentioned it. It's blanking on me.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Have a great night.
Peace.
Have a good one.
You know he was excited. Now the question, we have a very important question. Did you use your $5 coupon for the chicken fingers?
Now these chicken fingers were free, and they were a lot better than the ones that had to use the $5 coupon on.
Yeah, like the halftime show came on. And by that point, I was looking like Angry Orchards and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, but a halftime show, it was just like information overload. There was so much going on, the music, this, that. I was like, all right. And the game was kind of boring, so it was like you needed some kind of action.
Yeah, the game was rough. It was never really a game. Even when they scored to make it 19-7, you knew it was.
Yeah, the game was over.
Never. Yeah, it was over.
All right, let's go to we haven't talked to this guy in a while. What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
How you
How's
been?
it going?
I'm all right. Hey, were you guys pro Sam Darnold Super Bowl or anti?
Pro. Wanted to see him beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Is it It's kind of our bandwagon Super Bowl, right? We drafted the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Hey, at least to beat the Patriots, man. That's all I care about.
No, I agree. I think they were kind of posers just being there.
I mean,
Like their path to it.
Kicked. Yeah, it was
Oh
wild.
yeah.
Yeah, they took advantage of a weak schedule.
Yeah, you think if Bo Nix is healthy, they Denver's probably in it?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so too.
I still think Seattle probably beats Denver, but Denver's in it.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably a little more competitive too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, are you guys draft wise? Are you guys thinking offense or defense?
I mean, you're thinking, well, they have a lot of holes on both sides of the ball. You're talking like the first couple of rounds because you figure they're not gonna
Just first
they're not
round.
they're not going to go quarterback at 2. So you figure it's going to be a defensive. I don't think you can make a really good case for a wide receiver, but based on all the holes they have on defense and maybe a switch to another system, they're probably going to go defense, first pick, second pick, maybe best player available. Bubs, what do you think? I don't think it's going to be a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, I think the second pick's probably going to be one of these edge rushers, whether it's Reese, Bain, or Bailey. And then 16s, I could either see it being a receiver, whether that's a Mekhi Lemon. I don't think Tate's falling there. I honestly don't think Lemon's falling there either.
Nope.
I think you're looking more like the Denzel Boston type of player there, maybe Jordan Tyson, but even him, I wouldn't be surprised he doesn't fall. But Denzel Boston, somebody like that, or even Peter Woods if he's there, if they want to double up and go D line at the 16-2, or even Caden McDonald too from Ohio State's another name. Caleb Banks from Florida, like if they want to go D line. But I think ideally you go edge and receiver, or you double up defense and then go receiver at 33. That's what's nice about having 33 is it's essentially an expansion of the first round. So do you want to go Elijah Sherratt from Indiana at 33 and then go safety maybe at 44? It kind of, I think, just how the board's going to fall. It all depends.
So this isn't my preference, but because of this coaching staff, right? It's essentially like their last year unless they prove it. You think if Ty Simpson's at 16, they take him?
Hope not.
Man, I wouldn't want to.
Because that's I know you wouldn't, but that's Aaron Glenn's shot, right? Like it's his last year to prove he can do it.
Yeah, but I think his shot more is getting your bridge quarterback, your Brissett, your Cousins, or something like that. Win games this year while you're developing your quarterback. I don't like. He's not going to have a buffer like, oh, I got Ty Simpson, I can win 3 games this year. Nope, you've got to win games. So your first 4 picks have got to be contributors this year. You get your project quarterback in the 4th round.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm scared they're gonna take him at 16 if he's there.
I don't like, and I've been wrong a million times before. Bubs, I ask you, I don't think they had the luxury to take that chance. I just don't think they do. You can't take a project that we all know is not a day 1 starter, needs a lot of time. In your first round pick, when you just talked about it, we need 2 defensive players. You can go edge rusher, wide receiver. We need too much to take a flyer on a kid that you know is not going to play this year. You're not sure you can even develop him. I don't know, man. What do you think, Bubs?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not on board with taking Simpson at 16 or any of these other quarterbacks for that matter. I think there's a good chance they fall to day 2 potentially, or even like I mentioned earlier, if Reich likes him, like maybe an Aller. I'm not a huge Drew Aller's, like that. I'm not a huge Aller guy. I don't really love any of his quarterbacks. Chambliss is kind of intriguing, but he's very raw. He's barely played. Like he played at Division II, and now I know he's still fighting with the court and stuff with the NCAA, but I think you're best off going BPA or edge and BPA at 16 and then just filling it out that way and filling out the rest of this roster, because this roster, they're not a quarterback away. They've got so many holes.
So this isn't what you would do. This is what we think Aaron Glenn's going to do. Because me personally, I'm fixing the defense. My first 2 picks are defense. That's what I'm doing. Because I think the offense isn't that far away if you get the quarterback right. So I'm fixing the defense if it's me. But I think Aaron Glenn and this staff will reach.
So you're saying the offense isn't that far away. Are you putting a tag on Breece Hall?
Yes, like I'm paying him was it 3 or 4 years, 48 million? 3 years, 30 something, 36.
That should have already happened. Like right now, Breece Hall is not taking any deal. He's going to say either you're tagging me or testing free agency. I'd be shocked if they got something done with him because he's hinted he's one to get out of here anyway. So I don't know, man. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, the Jets aren't that far away. If Brees Hall leaves, okay.
Yeah.
And, we could all like Braylon Allen, but he hasn't proven anything in the NFL.
If it's me, I tag him. I tag him unless he's willing to sign a deal. But I tag him, and then you're 1 year to see what he's got, and then let him go. But I'm also in free agency. I'm more paying the Jets tax for top free agents versus and like overpaying the top tier guys versus doing the Tremaine Johnsons and doing medium players and overpaying them.
Well, who's your quarterback?
I wanted to have three.
Who do you want to get as your quarterback? Start there.
So I'd go Kirk Cousins if he gets cut.
It sounds like he's going to get cut.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be.
The thing is, you're going to have a bidding war for him because the Vikings can use him. He could be a Steeler.
Yeah. So like Kirk Cousins, Jacoby Brissett, I'm looking there. But also, does that guy get you 8 wins? Probably not. So that's what I mean is if you have 8 wins and you have Ty Simpson playing great late, that's a vision Aaron Glenn can sell, right?
True.
How does Aaron Glenn save his job? That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm scared they're going to reach, and like we know how quarterbacks get overhyped. God forbid he gets taken 2 overall. We'd be sick.
That's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I understand what you're saying because there is desperation on the Jets that they have to win this year to save their jobs. But they also got but look how bad they were. They weren't even competitive, dude. On either side of the ball, they looked disorganized, unprepared, flat. They quit the end of the season. If they come out a lot more competitive and they win 6-7 games, but you're saying, all right, this Frank Reich offense is pretty good. This defense, after being overhauled by Aaron Glenn, isn't so bad. I think even the fact that everybody will buy in a little bit more. I think last year was just so historically bad with no interceptions. You're like, this is,
Yeah, that's what I mean. If I'm him, I'm going to get Kirk Cousins. I'm fixing the defense. My dream is Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese in the first round, or Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles in the first round. That's my dream, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm fixing this defense, showing that I could do it, and then showing some improvement on offense. Because Kirk Cousins, let's say we pay, what's the guy from the Colts, the free agent?
Oh,
I don't think he'll hit it. Yeah, Pierce. You pay Pierce or Kyle Pitts, and you show in like that, our offense looks okay. If you tag Brees, right, you're a competent quarterback with those weapons should produce 8 to 10 wins.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even go Pitts. Like
but are you going receiver at 33 or 34?
Yeah, so I'm taking my George Pickens. I know enough to like just talk, but I don't know everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm taking my George Pickens of this year's draft at 33.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think you've got to come away with a receiver. Ideally, I think this is the path they probably take is you draft a receiver, whether that's 16, 33, 44, probably 16 or 33.
Probably 16.
Yeah.
And then you sign a veteran, whether that's an Alec Pierce, whatever, has experience with Reich. Let's say Alec Pierce for the sake of the argument. Let's say they go Boston Pierce. You can understand that. You don't mind that because then it's Garrett Wilson, the rookie, Pierce, 80 Mitchell as a 4 is fine. John Mechie as a 5 and Isaiah Williams as your 6. That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, that's solid.
Let's just say it's Kyle Pitts, right? Let's just say we lose out. We got to go basement shopping with a rookie, 80 Mitchell, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, and whatever rookie we take at 33. Kirk Cousins should I'm just saying that quarterback would produce. Yeah, and Brees Hall, right?
Yeah,
that's why I tag Brees Hall, and then I get Arvell Reese, who's a great run defender. He is a great run defender. He's just not very good at rushing the quarterback, right? That's the upside that you want, right? So I'm going Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles, whoever's there. I mean, the best defender there, Peter Woods. I'm fixing this defense, and that's 8 wins. That's 10 wins to me. If I'm Aaron Glenn, that's how I fix it.
Yeah, I mean, the Kirk Cousins thing is interesting, man. I just don't think he comes here. I think he's to me, he's got Vikings written all over. Win now team. That offense will just fly with him. And he's already burned the Jets twice too. Before coming,
Yeah.
yeah, Bubs.
But I mean, just look defensively too. Like they also, I mean, they got a ton of cap space too to spend as well. So I mean, like, would you be fine with like an Alex Anzalone and then get like a Cam Curl from LA as like a safety piece? Like they can.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at New England. They spent a ton defensively.
Yeah.
Do you spend more defensively and add more through the draft offensively? I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, the linebacker, it's a good linebacker class. Whether you want to take a Styles, even like an Anthony Hill from Texas at the top of the second round is intriguing. I mean, getting Reese and Downs would be a heck of a return in round one. I don't know if maybe we get both, but
I don't think get both of them.
You trade 44 to get Downs?
I don't know.
Does that get you up to 10 draft value wise? Ish.
Yeah. I don't mind some of the second round safeties.
I'd rather keep my picks.
Yeah.
You'd rather have four players.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing too about the whole trading up, and this is the stance of like in a perfect world, it would be great if the Jets could trade out and then stockpile more picks. But like, who's going to want to trade up? And just looking next year, I know that's not Glenn's mindset about next year, but like you ideally want, and this is how a lot of teams are going to probably think, is as many picks potentially next year to trade up for whatever quarterback that might be, whoever, whether Manning, whatever Julian's saying. No, it's not your thought process immediately, but like just in the whole trade up, trade back scenario, I don't know if you're going to trade up for a safety. And I think there's some solid safeties that you can get at day two, early day two, with maybe 44 if you don't trade up with that.
Yeah, I just want to fix the position. I'm tired of not having them. Like I hate
I'm right there with you. I hated how.
Yeah, they did not. They did undrafted free agents there, and it just goes to show it's like we didn't get a pick all year. Like let's just get a guy back there, like a Watts out of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The fact that he fell.
Worry.
Yeah, dude, take him second round. He's a ball hawk. Like, what are we doing? That translates in the NFL.
Well, they were hoping Cisco was going to be that guy too, and that didn't work out either.
Yeah,
right.
I totally agree with you, Blade, on that though. Is because even going back to Sal and Douglas, they always sold so low on the safety positions. I mean, they were rolling out the corpse of LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah, Tony Adams.
Terrible. Tony Adams. I mean, Whitehead has had his moment against the Bills, but even then, like it's. I agree. I agree in terms of selling high at the position finally, or at least investing some money at the position finally in free agency as opposed to going basement shopping, because even Cisco was basement shopping. It was a 1-year cheap deal for a guy coming off of a career. He got like
$10 million, didn't he?
Yeah, it was about $10 million. But I think it was a lot of it was it incentives? I forget. But even then, though, he was coming off a career worst season. Like they get a guy that
trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. We can coach him up.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was Jacksonville was poorly coached.
This is a whole new season now. We're embracing positivity now until they disappoint us. The negativity left yesterday. Now we're all happy again.
Yeah. So do you guys see a path where Aaron Glenn does it right and he's back? Because this is every YouTuber here, right?
I feel judged.
I get it, but we all talk about it. All is like seems like we're talking about next year.
Yeah. Already,
is there a path where Aaron Glenn, like what does that look like to you guys?
Well, Frank Reich's got to be very good at his job. They need to get a bridge quarterback and have a high functioning offense and play competitive on defense. And Aaron Glenn will save his job. The problem is we've seen none of that after his first year. So we're like blind faith at this point. Now we're in complete prove it mode. Like you had the hard training camp. Talked about reducing penalties, talked about changing the culture. You did none of it. So now you actually got to do what you said you're going to do. If he does that, things will change. But that's
so. Is it a playoff berth?
But also you got to figure he's got to bring in his type of players, which he didn't do last year either. We all talked about
weird.
But now it's like Alex Anzalone. Everybody's talking about him. It's the obvious answer, but like you got to bring in those dogs, the mindset. Harrison Phillips talked about that. Like, listen, this locker room kind of had that same old Jets mindset. You know what? Those players have to go. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But who are you bringing to replace them? Do they buy in? But they've got to be competitive. In terms of wins,
Great for Brian Branch, maybe?
Whatever. But it's just like, and listen, I understand Aaron Glenn made mistakes, but this is wins, I'm saying you got to probably win 6-7 games to be competitive, dude. Like you've got to see quality football where they're fighting, they're not being, just outmatched mentally and physically. You've got to see a lot of really good things. They got to clamp on both sides of the ball. I mean, what do you think, Bubs? I just this like being an average team is already an upgrade because we were terrible last year.
Yeah, I mean, they were
in the Steelers game. The Steelers game all year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what
if you give us the Steelers game for 18 weeks, 17 games, and you come away with 7 wins, that would be the ideal. That would give Glenn another year. Plus, if you see the defense make significant improvement and he's got his hands on it as a play caller, that's a big selling point too to come back. It's like I rebuilt this defense in 1 year. I'm calling the plays. That's something that we gave Glenn a lot of crap for last season, was not getting more involved, right? Wilkes, we're going to let him run his system, and he fired Wilkes and he just handed it to Chris Harris. He never got involved. He just stepped back.
Nope.
So you want to change that narrative, take this defense from historically bad, right? Didn't get a turnover. We've talked about the long lists of, or didn't get an interception rather. They also set a record for least amount of turnovers. All of those issues, start forcing some turnovers, be a top half of the league defense and turn it around. And let's see improvement. Like, let's see these draft picks develop, hit on these picks, Arvell Reese, Downs, whoever it might be, Bain,
establish
Bailey,
an identity.
But even
watch like you said, to have Mason Taylor improve, see
Yeah.
Olu improve, have
see
this
improvement.
young nucleus, like Will McDonald, Jermaine, or Jamie Sherwood. What the hell was he like? You've got to see significant improvement from your team and have an identity. Because right now the Jets are like rudderless. They have no face in a franchise. They have no identity. At the end of the season, like, listen, these guys they're a nasty team. They play tough defense. Their offense is solid. Special teams have been great with Banjo. All right, now we know what we are. Right now we have you've got to establish all of this in a 17-game period, which is not going to be easy, but that's why he's getting paid $10 million plus to do this job.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hate is it feels like we have to have, we give them every excuse, we got to draft a number 2. No, really the weapons we have, if you have Breece Hall, the Mason Taylors, the Garrett Wilsons, and the A.D. Mitchells, and you draft a guy at 33, that should be enough to be
He's got no excuses.
competent, to be top 15 in the NFL. And especially with the Kirk Cousins, because weren't you guys saying that with JJ so this will be his second year after the Achilles, right?
Yep.
So maybe I'm just hoping he would take that step up.
Well, it's also a contract year for him too, man. So there's a lot of things going on, but it's like last year, it was like Aaron Glenn's redshirt year, as fortunate that was, and he wasted a complete year on both sides of the ball. This year, there are no excuses whatsoever, none.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about personnel. I don't want to hear about. I
right.
don't give a shit. Win games and show you can coach. If not, you're fired. Simple as that.
Do you guys buy into the CJ Stroud at all?
No, they're not letting him go.
I don't think so either.
Next offseason, I think that's a legitimate possibility. I think this is still a year early yet.
They change his coordinator every other year, it seems like, too. This poor kid.
Yeah. I'd gladly give a 16 and a 1 next year for him all day.
I'd take Stroud.
I'd take Stroud.
Yeah.
Especially with Frank Reich. He liked him. So
Yeah.
Blake, good talking to you, man.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, boys.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
So the one thing we'll talk about is, we started touching on it now, is the quarterback position, where it's all right, you have Frank Reich, you have the offense. The Jets right now have no quarterback. Fields will be gone. Tyrod's a free agent. Brady Cook's a practice squad guy. Who do you get? I did a video on it. I don't know when it was, probably yesterday. But to me, it seems like the Jets' best option will be trading for somebody, because in the open market, like we talked about with Blade, go get Kirk Cousins. Okay, we got him. Now we're done. It's not going to be that easy, dude, because so many other teams are in the same boat. And some of these teams are win now playoff teams. Steelers, I know the Steelers making a change with McCarthy, but you have the Steelers, you have Minnesota Vikings, the Dolphins Dolphins probably getting rid of Tua. There's a lot of teams that, if you look at where they're at, are probably kind of ahead of the Jets, where these guys aren't going to want to come here. So to me, it's okay, if you could trade for somebody, you're not competing, you may be competing, but you have an advantage. They're all right, listen, let's go get our Jacoby Brissett or whatever else. That kind of feels like the direction the Jets have to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see a world where they trade and then sign, and that's how you acquire 2 veterans. Brissett, Kyler, both would be via the trade, most likely.
But but just start there. The one thing, a lot of pushback that we get as well, if the Cardinals get rid of Kyler Murray, which they probably want to, Brissett's their starter, but they also have the new coach there too, Mike LaFleur.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that would prohibit him, he could be there. Brissett could actually be their bridge, and Murray's available. I'm not trading for Murray. I don't want him. If he's
No.
a free agent, you can kind of consider it, but he's not like a prototypical Frank Reich guy. He's not a prototypical Aaron Glenn guy in terms of like the leader, high character. Like, so those two, I'd want Brissett.
No, I would want Brissett too. And I've actually kind of warmed up more to the possibility of Brissett. Brissett quietly was solid. I mean, he went 1-11 as a starter, but the guy, like, if he put up those numbers that he put up this year with the Cardinals, if he put that up with the Jets next season, I mean, he threw 23 touchdown passes. Like, he had a solid season. He only threw 8 picks. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton. That's always been known about Brissett. And again, he fits. Yeah, he fits the billing of what Glenn would want, but specifically Reich would want. He's that bigger quarterback, good arm, pocket passer. Like, that's what Reich want. He has a connection with him. Like, I don't see a Wentz happening because him and Reich ended on the wrong foot. I'm warming up definitely to the possibility of Brissett. And I would take him over Kyler because I just don't. The whole Kyler, like, he comes with so much more baggage. It's just, to me, I'm not a fan either, and I just don't think the offense necessarily fits that.
And the thing is, if the Jets did trade for Brissett, I'd give him another year or two on his contract too. Like, I don't want my bridge quarterback to be a one and done. I'd like, all right, listen, you're making whatever $6 million this year. We'll add another year. At least be here 2 years. In case you get lighting in a bottle, he can come back and you still have it. Also, he's a good mentor. You could have some kind of continuity. Like, the Giants had Jameis Winston for Dart last year and this year. That's a huge tool for him, man. Like, that's kind of what you want with the Jets. You feel they're going to draft somebody this year. So kind of had that same role. The question now, the next one was about Mac Jones. Mac Jones would probably check all the boxes for the Jets. There's two problems. I think, first of all, why would the 49ers even trade him? Because he's the perfect insurance policy there. Secondly, if they do want to trade him, they're going to want legit compensation. And then if he gets traded to you, he's going to want a legit contract. He's not going to be like, oh, I'll take, like, you figure Brissett would probably take like a, whatever, say $10, $12 million a year to come here. Mac Jones will be like, listen, man, I'm young. I earned it. I want 3 years, $20-something million a year. So you got to pay more compensation in draft and probably a bigger contract too. I'm not sure that happens, man.
Yeah, I don't see Mac Jones happening either. There's actually a report that came out the other day about the Niners not really being willing to move him, not planning on moving him. They have no reason to move him. It doesn't really make much sense for them to move him, especially the way he played this year. Brock Purdy's injury history there, like, he's the perfect insurance for them. So I don't see Mac Jones happening either. Also, for the reasons you listed too, like the compensation I have to give up and the potential contract, I don't see that happening. I think if you're going to go the younger route, I even saw somebody put this into the chat, like, you're going to go the younger route, you're maybe looking at like a Tanner McKee, the lower end younger quarterback where you really haven't seen a whole lot. Yeah, him. Like, that's potentially the route you take. Like, I don't see Malik Willis happening here either. But I mean, I'd be totally on board with Malik Willis. I don't see that happening. You still got me?
Bubs froze up.
Am I frozen?
We got to bring an Afram then to save us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe is it me or is
You guys are breaking up.
Is it me or is it everybody else?
Is it me?
Huh. I don't know.
You guys are breaking up. Can you hear me?
I could hear you.
I don't know what's going on right now. Bubs is not, but maybe it's me then.
Yeah, now. Am I frozen?
No, you're good on my end.
No.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. So everyone's fine for me, but our screens are all. I can see everybody. I can't hear anybody though.
Yeah.
Bubs, if you can hear Afram. Talk to Afram. I can't hear anybody.
Let me go out and come back in.
Interesting.
Let's
see. I don't know what's going on right now. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Mine seems fine. Let's see if we can do this. Let's try. Nope, I don't think anything's working. Maybe it's me.
Hey guys.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
Can you hear me?
I'm not sure what's going on with the stream right now. I can't hear anybody. It's like I don't know. It's so
my end's fine. I don't know if it's fine on.
I don't know what's
the
going
screen.
on. I think you're back now, Bubs. I got you now.
You got me now? Yeah, I could hear and see everything.
I couldn't hear anything.
Interesting.
Maybe it was mine. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened.
People in the chat said that we were fine. I don't know if it was
Maybe it was mine. Maybe it was mine. Something crashed out over here. Yeah, maybe it was mine. I'll take full blame. So it's pretty.
Yeah, but I don't know because you sounded good on my end, so I don't even know if you crashed. I don't know what it was.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you work for Verizon?
I work.
This is definitely an off-season one right here.
Yeah.
Maybe mine's all screwed up. Going back to the quarterbacks though, so trading for one is interesting because it gives the Jets an advantage where you're not in the open market. You don't have to overspend and try to chase something. But how would you approach this, Ephraim?
No, I agree. I think right now with the familiarity with Brissett and Reich, that might be their primary option. Not much to choose from.
But with that though, do you see the Cardinals even making him available because they get rid of Kyler Murray?
We don't. Yeah, we don't
then
know.
Brissett's going to be your bridge there. So if Brissett's the bridge in Arizona. How do you pivot? I don't think Mac Jones is available. Do you look at who else would you look at?
Who are they pivoting to? Who's their young guy on that team?
That's the question.
Arizona?
Yeah.
They have to draft somebody.
Yeah.
They draft someone this year, right?
Yeah. I could even see them going after like a Malik Willis pairing with LaFleur, the LaFleur brother combo. I could see that potentially as like their younger option.
I could see him going to the Dolphins too, though.
Yeah. That too.
That's all. It's too early to tell right now. There's not many to choose from, and you don't know which way these guys are going. They locked them in. The only other thing I could see, but I don't know where the Giants' mindset is. If they go after Linderbaum, it's going to cost them. Their cap space is very low. So dropping Jameson saves them $4 million.
They're not going to get rid of their backup quarterback.
No, but I'm just saying if they covet to have a solid center, depends on what Harbaugh wants.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Linderbaum's going to get a lot of money anywhere. But I just think Jameson is the perfect. Like they have a great relationship with Jackson Dart, a good backup. I think Jameson a heartbeat, dude. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. Have him let it fly all off season. Let it fly the season. Have a young kid and see what happens.
You just hope you got to wait till someone breaks free. Hopefully.
Yeah, but see, to me, it's like it's going to be a trade. Like I saw like the Derek Carr thing. We wanted Derek Carr like 5 years ago. I think at this point, if you're going to trade for him, I mean, trading for him, he'd probably be available because they like Tyler Shuck. But then what's his contract though? The contract, the money, the expectations. I just don't think I don't think Derek Carr's a fit here.
No, you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give some assets. Some picks.
Not to get you off, but Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr, those are like Kirk Cousins 2018 and Carr was during the Rodgers days. We were still talking about Brissett then too. Brissett's been an almost Jet for about 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And like you said, I don't see San Francisco getting rid of even trading it because you still got to worry about Purdy getting hurt again.
Well, the thing is too is like you'd think like would you give up a 2nd round pick for Mac Jones? I wouldn't.
No, not when you need all these other assets.
To be a 2nd round pick and probably a new contract too. I don't want I just don't believe in him that much. I just rather not. I don't know.
It's not much to choose from. And we're leaving out Mariota. We haven't even mentioned Mariota.
Yeah.
Well, this because like I'm more focused on trades, but yeah, Mariota. But then it's like, dude, there's a lot of teams in the same position that need a quarterback and need a starting quarterback. Where do the Jets rank of all teams looking for somebody?
Well, I mean, that's where Reich helps. At least they'll know that they have a decent OC, a reputable OC.
Reputable, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as draft though, I can see them go. Last 2 Super Bowls. What won the last 2 Super Bowls?
Defense.
Front 4 able to get to the quarterback right away, and being a copycat league, I could see, and especially with a defensive-minded head coach, I could see them trying to get that front 4 or whatever, that front 7, to be as solid as possible.
Well, I mean, they should have had that last year, but you figure you have Briggs, you have Phillips, you have talent here, man. They were just poorly coached last year, and you didn't see anybody improve. But now it's like you need speed on defense, you need physicality on defense, you need a legitimate scheme, you got to be aggressive, you got to generate turnovers. All this has to happen in 1 year.
Yeah, but you got picks. You got some high picks.
Yeah.
And you could trade some. You could get a 3, get rid of somebody. Or a couple of picks, a 3 to 4. Who knows?
I think Salah's gonna. I think they're gonna trade some of these guys to Salah. I said that weird.
It's possible. but you can what you call it? You can fleece them for a few extra picks.
Would you make a big play for Malik Willis? Look at the
I don't know.
anguish on his
What's
face.
it going to cost us?
You see the big 3 years, $30 million a year.
Yeah. Will he come here?
No, that's not the question. Are you willing to offer that? money?
Yeah. Does he fit into the scheme? That's the thing.
What do you think, Bubs? 3 years, $30 million a year for Malik Willis? Get him in here.
I don't. To be honest, I just don't think Malik Willis would fit here. I think he's more. I think he needs one of them younger, kind of what he just went through with LaFleur. Like I think he's maybe more of a product of LaFleur than coming here and then probably crashing and burning. And the whole Willis thing too, and not that it's exactly apples to apples, but they did just kind of do this with Fields, where they took that young upside. It's a little bit different because Fields. I mean, Willis has shown more in a couple games than Fields did in 4 years prior to the Jets, but I don't see it happening now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's nice to talk about it now, but it's just.
But what else do you want to talk about, dude?
I'm just saying,
quarterback.
This guy, but we don't know what's going to happen right now. And it's
Jimmy G, Trubisky.
No, he's been in the league. No one wants. Doesn't seem to be.
We're going to start talking about Tommy DeVito and Kenny Pickett soon, too. What are we doing here? The problem I have right now, Bubs, this is the call-in show. It's to have conversation and to stimulate ideas and create ideas.
Play with the GOAT. Play with the GOAT.
And it's about finding
with the
answers.
GOAT.
You don't find problems, you find answers. After bringing us,
there's no answers right now. You can't answer stuff.
You got to provide us answers. We got to create
speculate.
Answers.
You want me to speculate?
That's what we're supposed to be doing. Speculate.
Well, then we'll speculate. I'm going to speculate. They'll go after. Now we don't have to go after Brissett. They'll go back after. They'll try hard to go after Brissett.
Next show will be March 9th, Bubs, when we can know what we're doing in free agency.
They could end up, switching picks on the second round, maybe with them.
This is
for Brissett.
I think V-Man's call is better than this one.
You
can tell Afram had a rough Super Bowl yesterday. He looks like he's exhausted.
I didn't watch much of it. I just was out of it. Couldn't care less. I was happy for Donald. That's it. And I was happy that they destroyed the Patriots.
It's a yearly tradition. We should all be excited. We're talking bridge quarterbacks again.
We're talking bridge quarterbacks, talking spending cap money, Jets tax.
Bridge of everything we need. We need a solid
building a new
foundation to build a bridge.
We're talking about our standards of winning 6 or 7 games this season.
I mean, heck, Reich might be a bridge coach if he gets the interim job 7 games in. we got our bridge head coach. Yeah, see, bridge OC picks his bridge quarterback.
We'll see what they do with the money. That's the thing.
Well, I just gave you an option for the money. You didn't want to talk about it. Well, you don't want to spend money on the quarterback.
But you still got to think. You still got to look at paying Brees. I think they're going to keep him.
I'm not paying Brees.
You're not, but I think they're going to keep him.
Why? Tell me why you're taking.
If they bring in some, they're going to need a good running back.
Okay, and you can't find him. Would you rather have Kenneth Walker or Brees Hall right now?
Well, why would Kenneth Walker come here now?
This money.
Wants to be a part of a winner.
Yeah. But you know that if you look at their stats, Brees is slightly better.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. So he's slightly better in his stats.
I'm not tagging.
Considering the team he played on.
I will not. I'm not tagging Brees Hall. He can go. This is why I would have traded.
He probably doesn't want to be here. I get that, but I'm saying if you're talking as far as talent, Walker would be good. How much you pay him?
Same amount of money you can get Brees.
Well, Brees, if you tag him, is 14.5. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
and that's the franchise. The
transition tag is
it's like 11.5. I think 11.5 transition. But you lose if someone else wants to sign him and you don't match. You don't get anything for him. But right now, I don't think they're getting anything for him anyway.
Nope.
They had their chance and they just
they blew it.
Exactly. Well, they wanted to give more.
Now, if you want to go down this path, I am 100% in for this. I will do this all day. Do
you trade up to get him? Because he's not going to fall to 16.
Oh, don't even tempt me. See, this is where the irrational takes come out.
Where do you see him getting picked? I see him picking at the New Orleans, the Saints. I see the Saints picking him up.
He's my favorite player, man. I love the way he plays.
So where's the Saints pick? About 6, 7?
He's definitely a top 10 player.
Yeah, the Saints I think are 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
so that's
it is. Listen, I'm not
I
even
mean,
lying.
Kansas City too.
I'm
They're
completely
9,
Notre
I
Dame
think.
biased. I don't give a shit. I'm not lying at all. But he's a
saw
great player.
One draft with Tate falls to the Chiefs because the Saints take Tate Love.
Yeah, or even Mekhi Lemon too. I mean, Kansas City's probably going to end. Receiver help.
Yeah, but they need running back as well.
Yeah, unless they're unless they go.
I wouldn't even think about Anzalone for this team.
It's a foregone conclusion at this point.
I bet you that's the first signing of free agency.
We thought of that last year that they'd be bringing all these guys over, nothing but.
This was a guy that when Aaron Glenn left had a post on his Instagram, he was like, "I've learned so much. You're a great leader."
But he's 32. He should have learned that already.
Well, you watch. I think that's a slam dunk.
And what do you pay him?
They're gonna pay him whatever he wants.
So what are we doing
They'll
here?
probably overpay him. Yeah,
that's the price of doing business with the Jets and Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. It'll be an overpay.
Yep.
It'll definitely be an overpay.
Mariota, he's going to be our starting quarterback.
So basically, what we did in this first day of the new season, Bubs, we're trying to create optimism and answers. He comes in with doom and gloom and nothing.
I come with reality.
No, this isn't reality. This is just
reality.
negativity.
You don't like reality because you don't live in reality.
We live in a world of opportunity now. The season behind now, it's all about being opportunistic.
I'm keeping it real.
We are back.
Which rookie do you think they'll take?
In the draft?
Yeah, do you think they go day 2, day 3, or day 1? Not do you think they'll go first round?
Take your time, Ephraim.
No, I'm thinking here.
He's thinking.
The second pick? I see they go Reese, this number 2. But I could see them going with Caleb Brown on 16 if he falls. Big
Caleb
defensive lineman there. That'd be a heavy that'd be a good line right there with Reese and Brown. And then you could see where you could do something with McDonald. So I see they keeping McDonald, but I see, like you said, I think they may end up trading
Jermaine Johnson
because of his. They don't want to pay him. And you have a couple more years left. You got a couple of years left.
I want to know.
He's a 6'6", 330-pound defensive lineman. And that's what you need to plug up. Yeah, no, he's predicted to go in the first round. I just don't know exactly where, but he would be you solidify that front 4. Yeah, Banks. I'm thinking of someone else. No, you're right. Could be. It could be Brown Banks. That's not. I got too much on my mind. It's okay.
It's just
I'm spitting out too many names, man. It's that damn goat.
What was
the goat.
It's too many goats in that lamb. The lamb's dead.
The lamb guy. The goat's fine.
Lamb is dead.
You know what I was just reminded me of? Remember the a little bit different, but remember Steve when you asked him about you picked up you created a guy and you're like, oh, what do you think of him? It was like Michael Smith or something. He's like, yeah, I think he could be pretty good.
You give me full breakdown.
What happened to him? He hasn't come on in a while.
No victory Mondays.
Right. This is true. This is our fault. You're not a draft guy, so you can't be held accountable. You're
just
supposed to
got
be the
too many
cap guy,
names.
which you're not good at either.
I'm
So
studying too many names here.
Yeah, apparently.
That's Caleb Banks. I saw Brown. I don't know where I saw it, but
Who's our kicker? We had him. We had the thick kicker in training camp. We got rid of him. Now he's a Ram. Thank you for your entertainment, Ephraim. We appreciate it.
Yeah, what can I tell you?
Not much.
You should get a shot of that, whatever's left at that bottle that V-Man had left. He probably finished it yesterday.
He 100% did.
You know, he probably didn't bring it up. I can tell you that.
Have a good night, man.
Take care, guys. Be well.
Have a good one.
was a rough call. I was trying to help him, but I just couldn't stop it.
Oh, Banks
Yeah,
is actually, all jokes aside, a solid option. But yeah,
When he
that's
started
funny.
saying Brown, I knew he was off, and I just didn't want to say anything. What's up, Javid?
How we doing?
Great.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good.
You can
day.
see he's prepared for some hot takes. He's got these shoulders are all like he
What?
has that energy.
I'm not prepared. No hot takes. I'm just, for a team with what do we have? 3 wins. The Super Bowl went, I guess, as well as it could have. Patriots hate watch.
Yep.
It was nice. I enjoyed it. What was my T1 this year? Like in the draft or in like free agency or what?
Let's talk quarterbacks, man. What's your
I was gonna
quarterback,
say,
man?
I'd go after Njoku, but he just, I don't know if you saw the news.
Yeah.
He just, so I'd do that. But that's a more important position than quarterback if you really break it down. I think you can't go wrong, stacking your team with it. Okay. Quarterback. We're fucked. So
This is a new
If
year,
they're-
man. Come on.
look, I mean, honestly,
New year, new bridge.
I think, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think at this stage, what is it, February 9th, there's no point even trying to prognosticate right now because all the options are underwhelming, really, unless we're pulling off a miracle trade for Joe Burrow, which just isn't happening. If you're someone who's on the miracle trade bandwagon, that was always going to be a 2027 thing. Like you throw those 3 firsts in 2027.
Yeah.
That's not happening this year. So this year we're looking at Bridges, and I pray we don't reach for one of these guys in the draft. Every time I see, I'm seeing there's a lot of Jets fans who's talking themselves into whoever, whether it's Chambliss or Simpson and this, that, and then we start hearing end of the first round and this, that. Please, guys, don't do this.
But who's the bridge though? Is it going to be? Are you trading? Are you trading for somebody? Do you want to get Brissett? Do you want to get Mac Jones? What's your initial thought process? Because I don't think Cousins comes here, dude. I just don't see it. I know he's got a relationship with Frank Reich and all this stuff. To me, he looks like a Viking.
Yeah.
He looks like a T. He wants to win and win big. The Jets aren't for him, dude. Like that's not his final landing spot.
Well, I wonder if the Vikings are actually going to bring in Cousins. I think. Is that me?
That's mine. My bad.
Okay. I think the Vikings, to me, are in a position where, they're still trying to say they believe in McCarthy. They just knew it would be a multi-year thing. I don't think they're going to bring in someone who's going like, this is my last chance to start. I think they're going to bring in someone to challenge him. I think McCarthy's probably going to be their starter next year anyway. I obviously, if he stinks it up, they're going to bench him. But I don't think they're ready to quit on him yet.
I think so. You got to cut your losses with him, dude. You
I'm
can't
not
waste this
saying,
window right now.
I'm not saying don't cut your losses. I would have never drafted him. I'm pretty sure if we discussed McCarthy that draft, I would have been someone very anti-McCarthy. I didn't believe in him. I think if you're getting the Jimmy G treatment in college, I can't trust you as my NFL quarterback. And by Jimmy G treatment, I mean that time when Shanahan didn't throw the ball. What was it, like 8 times in the second half of a conference championship game? They had Harbaugh had McCarthy doing that all through the college football playoffs, and then he just came out and was like, "Oh, he's so great." It's like, yeah, he might be a good guy, but he's not a good quarterback. I not yet. He's a project. And so, but I just don't think the Vikings are going to give up on him. This is really his first year. He didn't get his redshirt year because he tore his ACL, so he didn't get any reps. I think he's probably going to be their starter next year. So I think if you can promise like a Cousins a starting job, as opposed to going to Minnesota, where even if Cousins does well, going back, or even if he does well for a bit, if he struggles a little bit, they're probably going to try and bring McCarthy back in because you want to find the future.
Okay.
And did you see the thing about Carr where there was the rumor that he wanted a team that
a good situation.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a bridge. He wanted them to commit to him. What?
He wants like the perfect scenario to come back to. Like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Plus, you have to trade for him from the Saints. He's still
And his contract.
Yeah, you have to trade for him. I don't know. I'm not against trading for a quarterback. I think Mac Jones is available. I understand why San Francisco wouldn't trade him, and that's why they're putting out what they've been putting out about, the recent reports came out just like a few hours ago after the Super Bowl, a few hours after the Super Bowl, saying that Mac probably isn't available. I think that report coming out at that time, tells you he definitely is available. The question is, for what is he available for? How much? Like, what round pick do they want?
What would you give up for him?
The most I'd give up for is like a swap involving a fourth, or like a conditional fourth. I'm not giving up a bunch of picks for Mac Jones, especially because if you bring in Mac Jones, we're drafting a quarterback in 2027. That's just what it is. I think, even with most of these bridge options, I find it hard. The only bridge option of the ones that we talk about, where I think they can have such a good season potentially that you say, I'm not drafting a quarterback, this is my guy, is Kyler Murray. And I just don't see that happening. Because Mac Jones, even if he has a good season, he clearly has a ceiling on him. If we were to decide, we bring in Mac and we say we draft a wide receiver, we improve the defense, so the defense plays better, the offense is in better positions, and special teams is still good. We have Garrett, we have a rookie, we have Mitchell, and Mac has a solid year, and then we say, you know what, let's extend him, and this is our quarterback for the future. We're fucking cooked. There's obviously value in stable QB play, but I think we're in a position where we need to find our franchise QB, and we have all these picks. I think you got to use them one of them has to be used on a quarterback, and I don't think we're going to find the guy. So that's
but don't you think, like with Mac Jones, he's only making $4 million a year? If you trade for him, he knows he's going to be the starter here. He's going to want to get paid, dude. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, I'll play for you.
I understand.
You trade for him, you get whatever, and give him a new contract too. Like that's why it's kind of prohibitive for me.
I don't think you have to give him a new contract this year because he still is under contract for this year, right? If you trade for him, I can't see, because if I'm Mac Jones, right? If a team's trading for me, right, your other only options are to play it out or to get an extension after you get traded. No one's going to commit to Mac long term right now on a big deal. So his only option is to get traded to a team that's going to make him start, see if he plays well, and then cash in the next year. So there's no trade and extending if Mac Jones in my mind. So for that, I just also would say if he played well, I think we'd be completely lost if we went and paid him. He'd have to become a completely different quarterback from the Mac Jones I know. Even Mac Jones playing well, like that's just not. It's not realistic. Any situation I see right now, we're getting a quarterback in 2027, unless we're drafting someone in the second round, fourth round, and he pops, and then we're like, "Well, this is our guy."
Poor Bubs. You're right, man.
Oh yeah,
that's why I said we are in hell. When you asked after the quarterback position question, I thought about it and I said we are in hell. There is nothing for us this year.
No, yeah, I mean the likelihood of any of these bridges turning into anything is extremely low. I mean the likelihood of a Drew Aller, a Nussmeier, Simpson, Chambliss, any of these mid-round rookies turning into anything too is extremely low. I mean you're setting yourself up to, take a quarterback next year, and if you have a halfway decent season this year, you got the ammunition to trade up anyway for Manning, saying whoever that is. There's always, going to be a few guys that fall off, a few guys that work their way into the mix. So
this is what happens when Afrin comes on the show. He brought down your energy, job, because you were smiling, you looked all, and then Afrin he brought the whole energy down to the show. We're talking about new era Jets football, new year, new season, all this opportunity. Now it's back to doom and gloom again. Now I'm the negative one.
The new era is coming with those 3 first-round picks.
This year, dude. You got an opportunity this year.
This year is the defensive cornerstone. That's what this year is. You gotta. This is the you draft your defensive guy. He looks really good. Then you come into next year. You probably have to trade up. Hopefully the Raiders get our ass again, but Mendoza looks solid, so obviously they're willing to play ball, or someone like that, and then that's where we're at. I think I'm not gonna lie. One of my fears, and I'll say this early. I'll say this early.
Uh-oh.
I'm I'm kind of afraid of taking a flyer on like a Simpson or a Chambliss or something in like a second, or even like trading up into the third or trading back into the third, or that Hackenberg, passing on.
I was waiting for
Mahomes
that tonight.
because we have Hackenberg. That decision haunts me. And I mean, Watson, I guess, but no one knew what Watson was at that time other than a good quarterback. So I can't even, maybe he doesn't go to massage parlors if he's here. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's getting mono in the club. We passed on two very good quarterbacks because we were sitting there looking at our third rounder in this little box and we're saying, what if he's amazing? And if we come next year and we pick someone and we say we do the double veteran route, because I think Tyson was talking earlier about in his video I watched, you said you'd keep Tyrod,
Yep.
and then you have like
Brissett.
another veteran, and then you can Brissett, right? And then you have like a young quarterback under that, and that is a good foundation. But if Brissett and Tyrod just bring us through the season, but they liked what they saw from the young quarterback in practice, and we pass on great quarterbacks because we're like, man, this guy could be him. I can't.
Yeah, but that young quarterback's gonna play at such a high level to really skew your opinion. Then, like, because you figure.
But we've seen the Jets do it. We've seen the Jets do it.
We can't live in the past, man. We didn't see Aaron Glenn and Darren Mooney
I'm not
do
living in
that.
the past. I was just saying that's just a little fear. Sometimes you watch
this is negativity setting in again.
It's not negativity. I'm trying to push positivity. The positivity is believing in your veteran quarterbacks that you bring in, and just drafting out the team to improve this year.
I agree, but you can still get, if you get a quarterback in the fourth round and he plays decent, Nussmeier, you can still. I'm still going next year. Yeah, no, that's where I'm at. I'm not trading up in the third round to get anybody. Like, I'm with you. Like, I don't want them. Like, if you have a strong conviction about somebody, like, this is our guy, we have to get him. Okay, then he's gonna probably play by week 10, week 11. But other than that, dude, just fourth round, you can draft where you want next year. I don't care.
But second, third round, I'm not sure about that. Where I'm look at the Saints, right? This year is obviously not a great quarterback draft. Personally, I don't think Tyler Shuck is really an NFL quarterback or is going to last.
What?
He had some good games. I don't believe in Shuck. I'm sorry. I don't.
Just a hater, man.
Do you see something there that you like?
Yes. Kid's got talent, man.
And man, I hate on Drake May.
He was just
so
older.
I'd take Shuck.
Yeah, I'll take him too.
I'd take a lot of quarterbacks right now.
My point is, even if the quarterbacks came out this draft, the Saints would be passing on them because they're saying we have Tyler Shuck. And I think in a few years they'll be looking around for a quarterback again. And that's
they can believe in their quarterback, build around them, and they have success and flourish. There's always a positive spin, man.
I mean, just because you spun it positively doesn't mean it's actually going to turn out that way.
You never know, man.
I've been very positive spin. We were here last year talking about, could this team sneakily win 10 games? I don't know. I was part of the positive spin, so I'm not the negative guy. I'm not. I'll even give you a positive win prediction next year.
Okay.
We will at least double our win total. How about that? Is that positive enough?
That's bold.
Well, all 6 wins. Look look out, world.
I thought 5 would be too low, so I said
That's
6.
true.
I'm not sure if we actually get there. We play the AFC West and the NFC North. I don't know. It's a rough year next year. We are in for an ass whooping.
Bubs, you're right.
What was it? 5.5 this year? The win total?
I
Over under?
Yeah, it was either 5 or 4.
Next year's got to be 4, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah, next year's total is going to be lower, which means we're going to get the over.
Mm.
And then a team is not going to want to trade back, and then we're going to miss out on. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Could you imagine if we missed out on the quarterback with 3 first-round picks?
Can you imagine?
I'm sorry. I don't even want to. I can't believe I spoke that into.
Thanks for calling him, man. We appreciate it.
We should have talked about something more positive, like tight ends or defense, the coaching staff or something.
The NFL is a quarterback-driven league, man. You're supposed to give us
quarterback
answers.
Position is so bad that the coaching staff is a more positive topic. Think about that.
Have a good night, man.
Good night.
I
Have a
can see
good one.
my challenge of making this a positive show is not going to be easy, Bubs. This is not.
I want to
easy.
know. I want to know if he sees a role for Jelani Woods in 2026, the tight end spot.
He was only active like one game, right? The last game, is that what it would build? The last
Him
two
and
games, I
Stone
think.
Smart. The only time Stone Smart ever got a look was when Brady cooked through that hospital pass.
Yeah, or he hit Abdul Carter in preseason.
Yeah, that was another highlight.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey guys, on a bit
How's it
more
going?
positive note,
Perfect.
the stuff that they're doing with the coaches, I think they're doing the right thing. I mean, looking at it, I agree with Bubs. It's a balance. I mean, are these superstar coaches? No, but you know what? The Jets don't need that because superstar coaches at the phase they're in right now, they'd be wasted. You can't have superstar coaches come in with crazy schemes and stuff if you haven't built the team, and it's not there. This is really about getting the team righted. It's about getting it on its course or whatever I hate using cliches, but basically where they've got it, where you know we are moving forward, where you've got things righted, where you've got stability, where you've got some kind of an idea where you can even plan for the future. Because right now they couldn't even do that. With the old coaching staff, you couldn't do it. It was too much of a mess. And the season was that bad.
Yep.
I think that the whole discussions, of course, I'm involved heavily in the discussions over quarterback and who or whatever. And I think that here they're going to probably build a defense, and it makes sense. I mean, as much as in some ways I hated to see the Super Bowl, only because Seattle's defense really won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Seattle's offense, quite honestly, no offense meant to Sam, I'm glad he won a Super Bowl. People are making it sound like he threw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards, and he didn't. They got in the red zone, and New England's defense stopped them. But their defense, Seattle's defense so overwhelmed New England. I hate to see it because, unfortunately, it gives fire to people like Glenn that think football is, 2 yards and a ton of dust, and that's what you do. And it's just
Yeah, but their defense needed a lot of help anyway, even before the Super Bowl. Like they were so bad now, they needed a lot of playmakers to begin with.
I'm sorry, who?
The Jets defense. The Jets defense.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is
they need to overhaul that anyway, between Joe Douglas screwing it up and then Aaron Glenn last year with the mess with Wilkes.
I think, yeah, well, that was don't even get me going. A coordinator that basically doesn't follow your scheme, doesn't have and didn't do crap to make the players better. So, yeah, I mean, I think the thing with Glenn taking it over, the whole thing with this is what I see for this year, right? Like everybody else, I don't see a super lot of wins. And what I want to see is what we thought we were going to get last year. A team where they've righted it, where they've got players that they think fit their scheme. Yep. You're right. If they don't want guys like McDonald and stuff like that, and I have hope for them. Hopefully with coaching, Glenn can get them to do what he needs. But if he can't, you're right. Salah and Ulbrich may want him. So that's a positive sign. I think I think that's a positive. I think the coaching staff they have, it is about stability. Is Reich the greatest OC in the world? No, and I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's like a stable. Yeah. And he said something interesting. There was an interview with him, and he was talking about, he said who he admires is Ben Johnson, which means that he's not stuck necessarily in the past. Reich is not, on the other hand, is not going to try to give us a dual threat quarterback, I hope. He's not going to try to do that stuff. It's not his scheme. Mobile quarterback is fine. He's a pocket passer. He's a run-oriented guy, though, so that's good. He knows how to blend it. He knows how to probably tailor to a quarterback. And this, obviously, we've got the decision now. Our famous, who are we going to have at quarterback, right? You look around, and you sit there and say, look, you're not going to bring a quarterback in here who's going to fly. You're not going to have a reclamation project. If I hear one more of these college stand idiots telling me about Will Levis and all these other people that all they need are good coaches, Will Levis is garbage.
Take that chance. Nope, he's garbage.
Or McCarthy. I mean, trade for McCarthy. Yeah, he's with Kevin O'Connell probably. Whatever his judgment was in drafting McCarthy, you're dealing with somebody who Kevin O'Connor couldn't make him look good. And I'm not surprised. I never liked McCarthy, so that's a different story. So the point is, what you're hoping is Reich sees somebody out there, right, that he thinks he can work with. It could be Brissett. Now, there's problems with a lot of these guys because the guys that we actually may want, like Jamias Winston, who would be a lot of fun, or Brissett, Mac Jones, which has its own problems. I don't think Jones is going to be available. I think San Francisco is either going to hold on to him, they may give him more money or something like that because they need a good backup. Because Purdy is fragile. I don't care what he's not.
Yeah, it's true.
He's not Josh Allen. He's not durable.
Nope.
So, and Mac Jones has already shown he can do it.
Do you think Kirk Cousins was come here because he's already blown us off twice, and this is his?
With Cousins, here's the interesting story. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. Right? He last year you couldn't really tell. At points he looked good, other points he looked beaten down and tired, and his arm looked shot. So who knows? I think honestly that if Cousins goes someplace else, it's not going to be the Jets. Vikings are a possibility because they need somebody there. Because if McCarthy shits the bed, O'Connell knows he's in trouble.
Yep,
if they have another bad season, he'll be in trouble.
Especially because McCarthy was O'Connell's guy too, so it's like he's got to get out of that, and go back to winning games because
Justin fired the GM.
He got rid of Darnold, right? A guy who wins him 14 games because he really believed in JJ McCarthy, and so he may very well go for it. Another team may do it. Whatchamacallit, LaFleur may want Cousins down in Arizona. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm just speculating. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. These are teams that probably are not looking for a winning quarterback. They're not trying to build an instant win team. So they're going to go for somebody a veteran quarterback. They know what the guy can do. He can follow their scheme. I mean, Cousins to me was the ultimate drug in NFL history because he's good enough that you can get him in there and you can win 9 games, 10 games, get into a playoff, and then he'll splat because he's not that good. He's got a.
We've had this conversation like 3 times with Cousins already. Like we want him so many times.
Yeah, I don't think unless he's willing to come here, unless Reich knows him and gets him in there and convinces him that they've got a role for him, I don't think so. The thing with Derek Carr, come on. This is Derek Carr. Look, I have nothing against the guy. I think he was actually a halfway decent quarterback. I don't think he was necessarily used right. The guy is physically shot. Yeah, he's had a year off. He claims his shoulder is better. He was pretty fragile. He wasn't that good to start with.
He took a beating
on a team like this. He'd probably be a halfway decent leader. And if Reich made a really big case for it, I could even possibly see it. But then you get into the whole tangled mess that his rights are owned by New Orleans unless they're willing to waive them, which they likely won't.
But isn't his contract, Bubs? Isn't his contract still?
I don't know how. That's the thing. Nobody. Yeah. I even asked my son. Nobody seems to know how the contract thing works. Like if you still have the rights to them, is his contract still valid? And I don't think so. I think if you retired, they make a deal and it abrogates the current contract, but they still own the rights to him. That's as far as I know, but that's I don't know what rule even covers that. I haven't looked it up, but it's like, so you've got tangled mess there. And I think in the end, the thing it's going to be is, I don't know who it's going to be. I mean, again, we keep hearing people, they're looking for somebody who's going to come in here and be a major, whatever you want it, right? And you're not going to have that. So what you need is a quarterback who can play the game. He can listen to Reich's scheme. They're not going to be playing an exotic scheme. It's going to be run-oriented. Are they going to hold Breece Hall? I suspect so. Maybe they'll tag him because they need a running game. It may not be the smartest thing in the world, but I think that may be one of the things they do. Because the problem with drafting a running back is, first of all, where are you going to draft them? You've got so many needs. Are you going to take a running back in one of the upper rounds? I wouldn't take anything like that.
But see, to me, like to pay, I don't know, man. I just don't see paying Breece Hall $11 million a year.
They tag him. They don't have to franchise. They can do the transitional tag on him. Maybe somebody else, and I don't think anybody else is going to try to match that. That's $11 million. It sounds like a lot. It's not a big. It's not necessarily. It's not going to kill your cap. As far as I know.
But is it money well spent though? Like, so you're going to pay Breece Hall for 1 year, $11 million, and he's going to do the same thing next year? What are you going to do? Keep paying him? Like, keep tagging him?
The point about this is not a long-term thing. Breece Hall is to get them through this year. Quite honestly.
You can draft running backs. You can draft the kid and have him, Brown Allen, and Isaiah Davis, and move along.
Yeah, the problem is though, Braylon Allen he's a good complementary runner. Isaiah Davis, I'm sorry, he's not that good. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but you can to think that you can't draft a running back and get good results. I think it's What if you draft the running back in the second round? Okay, so what?
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna
you're going to waste it. Yeah, but the question comes in with all your other needs. And this is the way I'm thinking. And by the way, you're not wrong. To sit back and say any of this is right or wrong is idiotic because you don't know. You don't even know what their plan is at this point. What I'm saying is that if you're going to get a running back, I'd rather, me personally, I would say hold Hall for a year, right? Tag him. He can go free agent later, and you may not care. You draft him next year. Who cares? This year, you've got so many needs, Tyson. The
Yeah, but so many
defense-
needs where you want to use that cap space to bring in other players. Like,
yeah, you want to get, but it's not. I know what you're saying, but it's not that much cap, and they can get away with some of that, especially if they're going to start trading. Like if they trade players, right? Like for example, Sherwood. If they talk to Salah and get draft capital, you've gotten rid of his contract. You can restructure, you can do a lot of things. And again, an 11 million contract isn't going to kill you. But the point, my answer on that is it's something you know, and you don't have to waste a second, third. I'm not saying waste it in the sense that for the long term, you're probably right. I'd rather do that next year.
But I mean,
And
to me,
this
it's like
year-
you're grouping up all your young players and having your plan moving forward. You get your young running back to pair with Braylon Allen, and you move forward with Mason Taylor, Garrett Wilson, everybody else. Like I respect Breeze. I think he wants out. They should trade him at the trade deadline. The only reason why they didn't do that is because Braylon Allen was hurt, and you could draft the kid. And I'm not discounting him. I'm just like, for the money you got to give him, like, dude, just
Yeah,
just
no, I
press the reset
understand. You're
button.
not, like I said, this one, there's no wrong or right. And I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I'm right. I'm just saying my lane, because my thought on that is if you're trying to get the thing stable, you need a running back you can rely on. Allen's coming off an injury. We don't know what he's going to look like. He's a great downhill runner. I like him a lot. Davis has shown flashes, but he's not really a feature back. He's like a breather back. He's a guy you bring in. He can also catch the ball, which is
At the moment.
I don't think he's the guy.
Yeah, no, it's hey Bubs, what do you think? Because like to me, it's like, and like if we all respect Brees and what he was, what he is, and everything else, to me, the money, the future, and everything else, I just don't see it. Like I do,
I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't.
Yeah, Bubs.
I don't mind. I mean, Davis and Allen are solid as long as they don't use Allen on kickoff return again. But I'm not opposed to honestly bringing Brees back either. Like, because to me, it's just one less hole you have to fill. And I happen to like Dave. Like I happen to like Davis maybe a little bit more than some. I think the entire run game, hopefully Wright can get more out of it. I still don't think they're all being utilized properly. I still think each of them have another level to hit. Brees too, but they don't utilize them enough in the pass game. I'm not opposed to it just because like what's the whole taking a potential running back on day 3? Is he going to be as productive as Brees and then or free agent wise? Like I think Brees still has another level to hit personally. I still don't think he's been used properly here.
Yeah,
same thing with Isaiah Davis and same thing with Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen a little bit different because he got hurt, but
the other thing with Brees Hall is, I mean, the other reason is he's another receiver for you. I mean, they didn't use him like that, which is one of my knocks on Engstrand. You can sit there and say, well, it wasn't Engstrand's fault, it was the quarterbacks. Throwing out of the backfield is huge. I'd also like hopefully Reich will use dual back sets because, again, that gives you another weapon there. This is when you're doing this. But, again, I'm not disagreeing with you, Tyson. I mean, in the sense that what you're saying is an alternate. It just means, though, you are going to need another running back. Whether it's somebody you pick up in free agency, which is kind of dicey, although running backs are still not high, they're not like wide receivers, but you're still going to pay them. If you want to get a decent running back, you're still going to be putting a good chunk of change into them. It may not be 11 million, but it might be 7 or 8.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, it's to me, it's like that money. The money can be spent. You can, you want to upgrade the center position. You want to upgrade the guard position. You want to go out and get another receiver. Like that money for Brees Hall, I could spend very easily other places. But again, I understand it with the talent. I understand the position. I understand that. But I also think that you can overcome him by drafting somebody, using your receivers better, using Mason Taylor better in the passing game. There's other ways you can go around it. And if you have a really stout offensive line, that helps Brown Allen as well, too. A lot of things can help it to offset it.
Yeah. I mean, again, and it's going to depend on Reich. And I think he's got the ability. I think he knows enough to be able to say, yeah, he's seen it before, and he knows how to balance it out. If you've got weaknesses, how do you balance it out? Which again came down to Engstrom being green. He just couldn't see that.
To me, it's almost like when Harrison Phillips talks about I think this is me just saying this.
No, the culture thing's a real deal with it. It is a real concern with Brees. I agree with that sentiment.
Again, that's a very valid thing. I mean, culture, and people I know now are getting down on it because, oh, look what culture was, but that's not the point. It still needs to be there.
But I think he's part of that same old
He's
Jets.
still, and he's also.
We saw at the trade deadline last year. You saw like he wanted out. Like it's like if you want out, like we can go out. Like you can be gone now. But that's where. But thanks for calling. We got a couple more callers, man. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.
Have a good one.
And the Brees thing's always going to be a debate. We're always going to have it. And it's like, oh, you're hating on Brees. Not at all. We like him.
No, yeah. I see both sides of it. I'm not pounding the table for Brees to come back. I'm not pounding the table for them to get rid of him. I don't know, I guess I tend to lean a little bit more towards I can understand and I'm okay with them bringing him back. And I do see a world where they bring him back. Like they've talked
can we
a lot
say
about.
this? He's been
What?
The Jets' offensive line was much better last year. The play calling sucked.
Yeah.
The quarterback sucked.
No, the O-line was very good, yeah.
But we didn't really see that vintage Brees Hall. We saw flashes towards the end of the season where he's going for 1,000 yards. But like you saw the drop passes. You saw like a lot of things. You're like, man, like it hasn't been like that whole like, wow, he's like a must. You have to keep him. He's inconsistent too, man.
Yeah, there's been some inconsistencies. There's definitely been. I mean, I would even go back to just 2024 where it felt like he lost his burst a little bit. I think that's what makes Brees so good is his ability to hit the open field and kind of make it look easy. You saw a little bit of that last year, whether you want to go to that Cincinnati game where he had the big game. There was a couple moments where he looked good. But, yeah, there's definitely been some inconsistencies. But there's also been the part of it, too, where they barely use him in passing situations. They barely use him as a receiver. Yeah. And that's all of them, too. Like, they could utilize Isaiah Davis more. They could utilize all these guys more. I mean, all these weapons, too. Heck, if we're going down the list, you'd like to see Mason Taylor get more looks. You'd like to see them utilize the tight ends more. So that's not just a Brees issue. That's just an entire offensive philosophy issue that you hope that Frank Reich can get right, where they haven't had tight end play that's got to be better. You'd like to see them utilize the running backs more, design wheel routes, all those different things a lot more. Not just Brees, Isaiah Davis too, or whoever else they bring in. If it's not Brees and they let him go and they bring in somebody else, you'd like to see that. So that's not specific to Brees, but I guess my point would be I think the meat on the bone from Brees is a little bit more well coached, grown up in the room. Who, if you look at Reich's history, he's had some good rushing offenses. He doesn't do a bad job running the football, and he does a good job of getting running backs involved. Like that would be the selling point to potentially bring him back.
Yeah, I have a list here of the free agent running backs. Let me see something. I think he's first.
It's actually there's actually some not bad names.
Yeah, because you got Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Gainwell's out there, Najee Harris, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler. There's a lot of guys out there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there is. Dobbins too, I think, was out there.
Yep.
I think you mentioned him. So yeah, there is, and there's a good mix of some veterans and then some younger guys too.
Plus, think about it. Before the injury with Brown Allen, Aaron Glenn was raving about him.
Yeah,
this is my kind of running back. That bowling ball, like he loved the way he played the game of football, that physical style. So
no, yeah, and I mean, you even go back to the last year. We kind of had these conversations with Brees about there were some rumors that they might trade him. There were some rumblings, not necessarily from. And that might have been more fan fiction, more media fiction than anything, but there were some talks around potentially dealing him because they spoke so much highly about Braylon Allen. And if you go all the way back to the owners' meetings, Glenn said, he wants it to be kind of a running back by committee. He didn't really necessarily go all in on Brees being the guy. So it's definitely a good point.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing? It's a new season, man. Look, you're smiling. The whole new season now.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, season starts in September, I hope last year, look what the hell happened. So
come on.
So before Tyson gets mad at me, just want to point out that I was wondering if there was any running back needy teams, in the draft, because here's what my plan would be. I would tag Brees, but I would see which team in the first, like later towards the first round of the later part of the draft, which team would need a player like Brees? Like if the Chargers got the 26th pick or the 28th pick, I'll make that phone call. Yo, could we see about that first round pick? We'll give
Yeah,
you
but
Brees Hall because y'all
yeah, but the
need.
thing is like this:
you
if
know.
I have if I'm going to trade a first round pick for Brees Hall, I go get Jeremiah Love. Right? That's a first round. It's a first round player, dude. Brees Hall's got miles on his tires. He's got a big injury in his. I go like, all right. And again, I'm not. This comes off so bad, but like I respect Brees Hall. But if you're going to trade a first round pick, I'm making Jeremiah Love. I'm not taking Brees Hall. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a first round. Try to see if you could get even more draft capital to actually build the team up. Because it's just
It's two things though. It's like you're going to tag him, so you got to give up draft compensation. You got to give him a new contract. Like Bubs, who do you think? Like, do you see that? Do you see the Kansas City Chiefs saying, okay, we're going to trade for him and sign him? Is he that worthy of a player? Or they say, you know what? We'll go in the draft. We'll draft the running back in the first round.
Yeah, I'd see them going that route or one of these other free agents, Kenneth Walker, potentially. Somebody like that as opposed to the sign and trade situation. But, I mean, it's like, because then the Chiefs too, do they take Love or do they go receiver in the draft at 9? Like that's also up for debate too, what they want to do there. So
because and it doesn't have, like I said, it could be the Chargers, because I know for a fact the Chargers need a running back down the stretch, especially in the playoffs, to take some of that pressure off Herbert. But it's just an option that is out there, because I would like to see, okay, like let's just say, for example, they do draft Reese at number 2 instead of a QB. And then they try to build the O-line position, because the O-line position was the only piece of the only piece of the team where you could say, oh, people got better at. Fashanu got better at. Mimble along the year got better.
Yeah.
Try to see if you could get a Caleb Downs before, because a lot of teams need safety in this draft, and Caleb Downs is a hot commodity from what I heard.
Yep.
So I mean, again, it's a tough situation. Try to see if anybody wants McDonald, if you teach him, it's all.
But you got to hope like Solid
it's
Ulbrich
tough,
wants some of their former players, man. You got to hope Solid gets like what he wants, Sherwood or that's my hope. Like you get guys that are like you figure Sherwood's in. I mean not Sherwood. McDonald's into almost at his fifth year option. You got Jermaine Johnson in the same boat, contract year. If you can trade them and get good assets in return, and you're changing your defense, maybe you got to do it, man.
Yeah, because it's not the end all be all, and plus you have to look for the best fit. So like, even though we say Kirk Cousins, does he fit in with a Frank Wright? Like it could be a situation where Mariota's on the market. Maybe we go after him. Brissett, maybe we go after him and something like that. We need more. We could look into getting a wide receiver 2 and Cornell Tate or Malachi Lemon from Miami.
Yep.
It's stuff like it's.
Well, you can do that like Bubs was saying before though. You can go defense pick number 2, second pick a wide receiver and address both needs and get a very good wide receiver in the second pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then goes safety potentially top of round 2 and then D line.
Yep.
They could go many different ways.
Yeah, many different ways. I don't know if we need tackle help on the out. I haven't really been watching the games as of late down the stretch, but if Fashanu's good on.
You haven't been watching the Jet games?
No. I'm saying like the play of the team down the stretch towards like the final 4 games. I would say.
Well, they got their 2 bookend tackles.
Yeah, they're good there. They
think we don't need to talk tackles in this first round.
Yeah, but offensive guard, I don't know if they're gonna pick up the option for Simpson.
Well, no, they got to re-sign Simpson. You got AVT. You got to decide what you want to do with him.
AVT. Looks like they might extend Tittman.
They're saying
they might work that out. Rosenblatt had an article on that, and then I wouldn't be opposed to the point of the offensive line taking some interior depth like later on day 3. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Somebody with a little bit of versatility that's never could hurt.
Yeah, it's all types of options. That's why I said Like if the Chargers have a late first round pick, if they interested in Brees Hall, not saying that they're going to do it, but
I don't think so, man. But dude, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate
the
it.
option. Appreciate y'all. Mhm.
Later, dude.
How you doing?
Yeah, and I know when people listen to this tomorrow on the podcast networks, like, oh, I'm hating on Brees Hall. If you have a first round pick, why would you, I'm not trading for Brees Hall. I'm drafting. I'll go get Love. There's other guys you can take.
Yeah,
Now,
no, I don't think anybody's trading
What
for Brees.
what do you think to be the highest compensation you can get for Brees Hall in terms of like a sign, like a trade? Like they tag him, somebody trade him, but third round pick, maybe a second round pick?
Fourth round pick, maybe. I mean, what I think wasn't the deadline what they wanted a third. I think they could only get a fourth. I think it was. You're probably getting a fourth, maybe a third at best. But it just goes back to like, maybe that's part of it too, from my perspective. Like if you were, they should have just dealt him then. You should have just traded and got something for him. And I guess, the sign and trade possibly on the table, but maybe that's part of it too, is just trying to.
And that's the thing.
Like
And the thing is here, it's like I honestly believe that
Yeah,
Braylon Allen's injury held them back from having Brees Hall.
From trading him.
Because if he was healthy, Aaron Glenn loved him. Like, you know what? He's gone. Here's our running back in the future. We move forward. But they didn't have that. They didn't have the contingency plan there, and they didn't want to come up like they're tanking the season, which they ended up tanking anyway towards the end. Like it's the management of Brees Hall to me was kind of annoying, especially when you knew he wanted out. He hinted towards it. You had offers. As of right now, you haven't paid him, so he's going to test the free agent market. You're almost forced to tag him or look stupid. You're going to let him walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the same boat kind of falls in from a trade deadline standpoint. Everyone talks about how good the deadline was from a Sauce and Quinn return standpoint, which sure, but even Quincy falls into that boat of they should have just dealt him too and got anything for him, whether that was their value they had on Quincy or not. Just deal him. You weren't bringing him back, then you benched him. Like what was that was completely backwards. So yeah, Brees and Quincy both kind of fall into that umbrella. Then as you should have just traded those guys, especially Quincy, because for a fact he's not coming back. Brees, there's still a conversation. But yeah, they handled it poorly from that standpoint.
They wanted to avoid the notion they were tanking and not being competitive, and meanwhile they were doing exactly that. So it's just, and that falls on Muji and Glenn, not just giving. This is the Jets organization, man. This is all of them.
Yeah, no, I mean they've handled a lot bad. I mean they've handled a lot poorly. I mean even the situation we find ourselves in now, they're in a tough spot with all these holes on the roster, and that's not all Glenn and Muji, but now you're in a spot of who's the quarterback they take day 2? Do they take one day 2? Do they? And my whole worry is too, like from a developmental perspective, from a quarterback, if we want to talk Glenn and stuff, is like early in the season, if they're struggling, does Glenn then throw that rookie quarterback to the Wolves to try and save his job?
Yep.
Kind of similar to what Dable did with Dart. Maybe not completely apples to apples because Dart's a first round pick, but similar situation, and then you ruin that rookie because you throw him out there 10 weeks too early. A guy that should have been out there in week 10, week 11 is out there in week 3.
Yep.
So, and Dart worked out, but it wasn't enough for Dable to save his job. But the point being is that's another thing you kind of fall along of concerns with this team moving forward too, is just that standpoint of it. And we're talking about a lot of quarterbacks that we could have taken 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's
a lot of these names.
Yeah. So the question was our O-line good at run game? I don't know enough, but it seemed like no. I mean, when you have terrible quarterback play where you can't complete a pass, it makes it difficult too.
No, yeah, I mean, the O-line was solid last year. When you're not talking about the O-line much, that's a good thing. It's usually a good thing.
When you can't complete passes and the opposing defense knows it.
Yeah, they're stacking the box. It's all predictable. And there was so many like vanilla run concepts. And even some of those fourth downs, Engstrand loved to go horizontal on fourth down.
Yep.
I never understood. Instead of just running it up the middle, he'd always do those stupid outside runs, and they'd never work. So it's a lot of that too. Some of that was play calling too. But I mean, Membu was excellent. Running behind Membu, they were great. So yeah, I mean, and just back to we were talking about earlier with what we needed to see out of Glenn. You even look at guys like A.Z. Thomas, even look at Jarvis Brownlee Jr. Like those guys Malachi Moore, those guys have got to continue to develop. They've got to continue to play well. Same thing with Briggs.
Yep.
You got to start to find more of those guys, see more of that development. as opposed to the Sherwood regression, the Jermaine regression, the Will McDonald
100%.
regression, things like that. So,
Well, especially because now they have a year in the NFL. You
Yep.
want to have a good all-season training program, especially like
Mhm.
Malachi Moore and AZ Thomas. AZ Thomas unfortunately hurt, but they've got to
Yeah,
get much better,
that's true.
dude, where it's like you don't have the excuse like, oh, the rookies are learning. No, they've been here a year now. You've got to
Yep.
see a step up where they can be contributors, improve on tackling and everything else. So I guess
Yeah.
now we have to talk about a Super Bowl winner. Our good friend who is now spoiled with a Super Bowl victory again with his favorite quarterback, Sam Darnold. What's up? What's up, Jose?
Hi guys.
Congratulations, man. We're very happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now,
I can't relate, but you know, it must.
now I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
Can you just do it? Pick 32 for Jimmy Johnson.
Pick 32 for Jermaine Johnson. You want
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson from us now?
Yeah.
Your defense is stacked. What do you want him for?
Why not?
You're being greedy now.
You get another first round.
Dude, if you want to offer pick 32, I'll take it. Would you, Bubs?
Yeah. First round pick.
Done.
Give us 3 in back-to-back drafts.
Yeah, I'll do it.
How you guys doing?
Not as good as you are, man. Good to see you happy because you know, you guys beat the Patriots, which is good. You won a Super Bowl. We came and win 6 games, so we're in different worlds, man.
Talking bridge quarterbacks.
For God knows how many years in a row. It's better than the Aaron Rodgers conversation, I guess, right? Not as bad as that.
Yeah.
To be fair, to be honest, I don't think it's gonna be Malik Willis. I think he goes to Miami
I think so too.
because every Green Bay coach is going to
Yep.
Miami.
They're gonna take a guy they trust.
Yes,
And they know firsthand from the building too.
and Miami is trying to get rid of Tua. Good luck with.
That's
Good
two.
luck with that
That's
shit.
2 quarterbacks between Tua and Kyler Murray, where the cap hits are going to be
Yeah,
absurd.
it's brutal.
It's unbelievable.
So for the Jets, the options would be Jacoby Brissett.
Yep. That's
I
really
don't.
it. You got Brissett, you got Mac Jones, you got Kirk
No.
Cousins, Mariota,
Mariota.
Kenny Pickett. It's a
No.
disaster. We're talking about Trubisky, Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like this is the list of just
Or
32nd of 32 of 32 odds for the Super Bowl next year.
run it back with.
no, absolutely not.
No,
We're not running anything. Just the whole running it back's not happening with Justin Fields. No. We're running him out of town is what we're doing.
I was gonna say. Tyra.
Oh, I actually like Tyrod. But the thing
Yeah.
with Tyrod was he's my buffer between if you get
Yeah.
Brissett and you draft somebody, bring Tyrod back. He's a good guy. He'll come back cheap. I'm fine with that.
You can't start Tyrod. He just doesn't stay healthy.
He could be your number
He's-
2.
Yeah, but I agree with you. That's a name that I think should be brought up a little bit more as potentially being that second option behind Brissett, like you said. Yeah.
Guys,
Yes, sir.
I have one more question.
Uh-oh.
You actually like the halftime show?
I enjoyed it.
I besides VIP, I couldn't understand a word he said.
To me, it was just like just a show. Like there's a lot of entertainment. I mean, I was drinking beers, hanging out. Like I didn't stare at it and analyze it for like, you know, like it was cool. Like I don't work for me. I don't care. It's just having a good time with it. Like the halftime show is not like a make or break for me. It doesn't like make or break the Super Bowl. You know what I
Same
mean?
thing with the commercials. I don't.
Yeah.
Not a big deal for me. I don't put too much stock into them.
The more boring the game got, the more beer I drank. So that's all I did.
Guess what I drank after the game?
What?
I truly
There you go. Truly's. I've
and
had one of those in a while.
and tequila.
Tequila. What kind of tequila? What brand?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Well, Jose, congratulations, man. We're very happy for you. We're happy for Sam Darnold. Maybe one day the Jets can actually make the playoffs and we can feel some kind of winning.
Yeah, that'd be nice. 9 wins.
Have a good night, Jose.
Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
How we going?
It's funny. He posted a tweet. He's like, "Am I lucky or what does he say? Am I lucky or spoiled being a Seahawks fan?" I'm like, dude, you're spoiled. Like all of you known is winning. Lots of winning. Super Bowl wins.
3 Super Bowls in his lifetime.
Jesus.
2 wins, obviously.
We can't even have a meaningful game in December. He's worried about being.
Might have to save. Might have to crack a Truly Open next year for when Brissett's under center in Super Bowl 60.
Yeah, right. That's it. For somebody else.
Their bridge worked out for them in Darnold. Or if you even want to go, that was kind of, the way it ended in Minnesota, there wasn't 100% guarantee that was going to completely pan out.
There was a lot of question marks about that with Darnold on
there was.
You figured Minnesota was a plug and play, like all-star offense where it kind of took a chance with the Seahawks. And look how that played it out.
You know what? I'm surprised, which I think is a good thing. We went the entire episode without mentioning Geno Smith.
Dude,
which is probably a good thing.
That's my next video. Well, I don't know how this show was 2 hours. I don't know what we even talked about. I was all hungover today too. So thank you guys for joining us. And we're going to embrace positivity. We're going to start finding more answers and solutions. I already know the backlash with the Breece Hall comments are going to bite me in the ass. I can see this already. But any last comments from you, Bubs?
No, I think that's it. Hopefully get the quarterback coach soon, round out the rest of the staff before the combine. 2 weeks from today is the combine. So start to get some more there. Combine, you'll start to see some guys skyrocket, some guys drop too. There's always the couple of combine risers every year, Membu being one of them. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it. Enjoy your week and keep it rolling. Hopefully, maybe this time next year we're talking, I don't know, bridge quarterbacks.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
J-E-T-S-S-S-S!